Doug MPA back with another video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on the way in. I really appreciate it. It shows that you support me and the content on this channel. So, who remembers Toni Harris? You remember in 2019, there were those Super Bowl commercials. I think they were by Toyota or something, and they had her in it, and she was going to be the first. She was the first Division One signed college football player that was a woman. And in the commercial, they said that she's going to be in the NFL and she's going to break all these glass ceilings and history is being made and blah, 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 all this delusion, right? Well, uh, I was wondering whatever happened to her, and I decided to do this video because apparently she spent a couple years at Central Methodist and she quit her senior year. She just quit. So I'm going to go over this article first to give a little bit of context of what was going on at the time when she got signed. This article is February 28th of 2019. And then we're going to go to her YouTube page and cover the video as to why she quit her senior year at Central Methodist. So this article is called How Central Methodist Landed Toni Harris, Football's First Female Scholarship Skill Position Player. It starts, Antoinette Toni Harris has never been one to pay much attention to the outside noise. The haters have said she's too small. She is. She's too slow. Probably. She has always been doubted, told she doesn't belong, and that all of her dream chasing will end in disappointment. Yet Harris, who overcame ovarian cancer and lost half her body weight as a teenager, has persevered and remained hell bent on proving her naysayers wrong, especially when it comes to football. So this week, when Harris turns 22, became the first woman to receive a college football scholarship at a skilled position. Her history of barrier breaking continued. You see all this stereotypical female empowerment narrative garbage. It's the same stuff over and over, breaking barriers, all the hate, all that stuff. The Detroit native, who has played free safety at East Los Angeles Community College for the past 2 seasons, signed a national letter of intent to play for Central Methodist University, an NAIA school located in Fayette, Missouri. Harris chose Central Methodist over 6 other suitors, all of which were offering scholarships, while Harris hopes to eventually reach the NFL. Taking this step towards her dream just required an opportunity and someone to give her a chance. Now you see this, while Harris hopes to eventually reach the NFL, there is an infrastructure to perpetuate women in their delusion. Guys, this girl is 5'7", 165 pounds at her athletic peak, and she thinks she's gonna reach the NFL. And as you're gonna see later in her video on her YouTube page, there's a she had to face the fact that it was delusion. So she quit. Let's continue with the article. It says Central Methodist coach David Calloway offered both. And Harris, who lives by a mantra that is tattooed on her side, was more than happy to accept, all while being fueled by the words that have come to define her. Be so good they can't ignore you. Then she says, now listen, you guys know it's coming. Listen, people don't want females in this sport. So if you want the chance, you have to be so good that they can't ignore you. The delusion. People don't want females in this sport. Harris said during an interview on the Today Show this week, because when you are that good, people will be reaching out. If you have the talent, they'll find you, and I'm guessing they found me. Now, guys, look at this picture here. Some people might be listening to this and not watching it, but this is her on the football field, and these guys are just towering over her. She literally looks like all of their little sister. This is crazy. Callaway, the coach, persisted in not only finding Harris but pursuing her on the recruiting trail paid off. But as a coach of a small college football program that routinely doesn't typically receive much media attention, you see this media attention before this week, beating out the competition meant showing Harris that he meant business. They talk about all the numbers, the value of the football program, blah blah blah, the recruiting class. The team finished 4-6. Now look at this. At 5'7", 164 pounds, Harris isn't satisfied with stopping now that she joins Adams State University kicker Becca Longo as the only 2 women to accept a football scholarship at the Division II level or higher. I might have to look into Becca Longo. I remember her. I think she kicked in like 2 games. and that was it. Yeah, I might do a video on her. I'll put that in my on my to-do list. It says, during her Today Show appearance, Harris said the future is female. And this is what I was saying before. She starred in a Toyota Super Bowl commercial that was narrated by Jim Nance that centers around Harris's knack for breaking barriers in a journey she hopes results in her first being the first woman to play in the NFL. I told you guys the sheer delusion of this. The sheer delusion. And so I'm not gonna go any more into this article. I think I painted enough of a picture. This was a lose-lose situation for this university. What they did this for, I have no idea. And you're gonna see because we're gonna cover a video on her YouTube page where she found out that she was a diversity hire and they wanted to get media attention because she didn't get to play at all. And it's like you you bring her on the team, but then if you put her out there, she's gonna get destroyed. And if she gets destroyed, you your program gets in trouble. So I don't know what they were thinking. Anyway, let's go to the video on her YouTube page and see what Toni has to say about all this. All right, let's get into this video. This is on her YouTube page. Let's hear why she quit her senior year. Let's go.
So, of course, you guys know I signed to Central Methodist University, a D1 NAIA program in Fayette, Missouri, as the first female to be awarded a college football scholarship as a non specialist in college football history. Now, before I say anything else, guys, I am truly, truly happy to have had made that accomplishment. But even making that accomplishment meant just doesn't feel enough, you know? I know there's more work to do. You guys know 2019 was a big year for me. I was figuring out what school I wanted to go to. I was graduating. I was making appearances.
Now, first off, pay attention to all the lip smacking in this video. That was a thing back in 2019. A lot of women did that, and I don't know why. Number one. Number two, they literally paraded this girl around because I remember she was everywhere, all over daytime television, commercials, all that, the training montages, all this stuff.
I was doing commercials. I had just got inducted into the Hall of Fame at my junior college, so that was exciting. And also, that was the year that my mom passed away from the severity of her injuries in the car accident. So, rest in peace, Mom. So 2019, it was a great year, don't get me wrong. But, sorry, the cameras. It was also kind of a shitty year. Just because I was just going through so much and I just could not figure out like what was going on. So like I said, as I signed to Central Methodist, I ended up going there summer of 2019. I drove down there. At the time I had just drove down there, I was, I'm looking right here. I need to be looking right here. At the time I had drove down there, I was already suffering with hamstring problems because I was working out, sorry, all summer trying to get my body ready. And
that's the thing with women that are professional athletes. They don't talk about the effect that training at that level has on women's bodies. Women's bodies aren't meant to take that kind of training and punishment. They're just not. And you can find videos about military women talking about military training, you know, training at a professional level affecting things like their fertility, their estrogen levels, you know, female combat units or mixed combat units, the women end up with more injuries. It's just female bodies are only made to take so much before they start falling apart. It's biology.
ready for condition and everything. So as we got through summer ball, fall camps come. I didn't practice the full fall camp because of my hamstring. But at the end of fall camp came, you guys have seen the NFL 360, right? I'm pretty sure you have.
She had an NFL 360 special on her. She's a Division One football player, but because she's a woman, she had an NFL 360 special.
But at the end of the fall camp, when we got ready to go to our first home game, I didn't play in the first away game because, you know what? I don't even know. I'm not even gonna tell y'all.
Because you're 5'7", 165 pounds, and all the guys on the field are almost twice your size. That's why. Let's stop. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this multiple times in the video, but let's not cap. She get destroyed. One good tackle, and she's on the floor and not getting up. Come on.
Maybe I just wasn't ready. I can't totally remember that part.
And the delusion, you guys. She's gonna do everything except say that she was too small, and that she would have got injured. So keep track of the delusion while she's talking.
But the first home game comes September 7th of 2019, and the NFL comes. They shoot a 360. We shoot some in my hometown, some at the school. They shoot me getting dressed. They shoot me with the team. They shoot me doing warm-ups, everything. And I was practicing, so I was excited. I thought, like, okay, this is going to be my first university college debut. I'm so excited. And guys, guess what? Didn't even get in the game. And so...
See, the delusion, you guys. The sheer delusion.
So I wasn't mad or anything. I knew there were people in front of me. I wasn't bitter about it. I was truly just excited to be on the team. So as some time started going by, at first I was able to come to all the practices and all the meetings. Then something weird happened. I don't know. I stopped being allowed to come to the meetings and to the Tuesdays and Fridays practices because technically that was for varsity. So I'm guessing what they explained to us is that if you basically weren't playing at the time, there was no need for you to come to practice and there was no need for you to come to meetings.
See, there you go. They tried to let her down softly, but I guarantee you she kept asking, pestering. She was so deep in her delusion that she had to make an issue with it. That was them telling her right there, you are never playing on the field varsity, ever. So just sit there. You can come to practice every once in a while, do your interviews, do media for us pretty much.
Me thinking that's stupid because how else do you expect me to learn what's going on the field if I can't attend the meetings at least?
Because you're not going to play.
And so I was upset about that. So I kept asking my coaches, am I doing anything wrong? Am I doing anything wrong? Like, this was like an over and over thing. And my coach is telling me, no, you're not doing anything wrong. You know the material because I studied the shit. Excuse me. But like, sorry guys, like, excuse me. I get mad when I talk about football, so you guys gotta excuse me. But yeah, so like he telling me I'm not doing anything wrong, and I just can't for the life of me figure out, okay, so why can't I come to meetings? Okay, so why can't I come to practice?
Once again, guys, the delusion level is over 9,000. They showed you why. You explained to us earlier in the video why, but you just didn't get it. And it sounds to me like she still doesn't understand why. The delusion runs deep with these women, guys. Deep.
But I mean, it was whatever. Like, I wasn't tripping on it. And then I started having ovarian problems again. Like, and that scared the crap out of me because, like, I was not trying to go through another year of what happened in 2014 and 2015. And we're not even going to get into all of that. Like, I already had my little scare tactics and scare situations. I was already going through a lot with the passing of my mom and trying to deal with college football. Like, that just would have been another thing on top of that. So as some time go by, people are constantly asking me for interviews. People are constantly asking me when I'm going to play. People are constantly asking about Toni Harris. And
because you're a PR stunt, that's why. And I feel bad for her because she spent a couple years there, never played on the field, and this is her future that was wasted on being a PR stunt for a Division I university. It's sad.
And at the time, I wasn't comfortable doing interviews. I'm the type of person that if I'm not producing, if I'm not being allowed on the field, if I'm not doing anything productive with the team, why in the hell should I be doing interviews? Like, but I guess because there was so much media on the team and on the school, like, it was just a given thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody at the night at Central Methodist is super freaking cool. Like I love everybody there. So, like I said, this video is not to bash shame. Just is my own personal experience as a female football player. So like I ended up confiding in my athletic director, who was the first female to be the athletic director at Central Methodist University. And she just basically told me, talk to the coach, see what it is. If not, and you're not happy, you have to do what's best for you.
Dang, there you go. She said, "Yeah, um, you might like other endeavors beckon." At least she said it to her nicely.
So as the season goes by, I still don't get to play. I still don't get to go to meetings. And I'm like, okay, well, after I'm going through all of this, I was in such a depressed mode. And this is not even the beginning of my depression. My depression didn't start bad until after the pandemic happened. Okay, but we'll get into that. So as the year ends, I'm like, I can't wait to go home so I could work out some more, so I could come back ready for spring ball. I was like, because for some reason I'm not proving myself, or either I'm not doing something right. Like
It's because if you get on the field with Division 1 football players, you're gonna get destroyed, and that's not the kind of attention that the school wants. Why doesn't she realize this?
I just couldn't put my finger on it. You know how you're trying to just like put your finger on something, but you really can't because you honestly have no no clue what's going on. So
She just can't put her finger on it, guys. This is so sad.
the holidays pass, spring comes back, and we're back at it. I'm busting my ass in spring ball. We have these 5 a.m. workouts and these early morning weight training sessions. But most of the time, spring ball is like indoor in our indoor facility. So that's what we were doing. And there will be days where we went outside to run on the track or the field or around the school. It just depended on what, the coach wanted or whatever. So I'm like there every day trying to bust my behind. Like I didn't know how much more I could give. I would even ask like some of my teammates to like stay behind with me to like get extra work in, and some of my coaches, just because like I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I was trying to get on the field, and like I had to figure out a way. So January passes, February passes, everything is going good. March comes and we get kicked out of school because of the freaking pandemic. I was already like getting over my depression just a little bit from everything that I had went through right before then, but like I guess this pandemic was like, Toni Harris will not be playing ball. So
Yeah, that was March 2020. We all remember that when everything shut down and then everything went online. Remember those days? That was 3 years ago now, because I'm shooting this video on March 1st. Yeah, so 3 years ago.
when we go home, the coaches ask everybody to do workouts 2 times weekly, make sure we sending them the group message. So we did that from March all the way until August. Now, mind you, this is March all the way to August. This is a long time not to have played football, not to have done anything with the team because we were on lockdown. So as time goes by and time goes by, like I can finally feel my depression kicking in. Like I'm trying to be happy and I'm trying to show my family that I'm happy, but like in my head, like I'm just not there, And this is actually when I first found out that there was a such thing as high functioning depression. Like where
Now, before she gets into depression, here's the thing. Guys, we have to deal with not being good enough, trying, failing more than women do. And Toni is getting upset at a situation that a lot of us guys have had to. A lot of guys tried to be on a team, weren't good enough, tried to open a business, it failed and stuff. But we don't have the ability to sit there and just be depressed. We got to get back up and try something else. So it's funny when she like Her mental health is important, but it's just she wasn't good. I mean, she was 5'7", 165 pounds. She wasn't good enough to get out there on the field. That's it. You were a diversity hire. Accept it. Move on with your life.
where you're doing all the daily activities and stuff, and everything seems normal to everybody else, but you're struggling and suffering in silence. But it wasn't it wasn't that bad at that point. So I'm going through the summer. I'm practicing with other coaches. I'm going to the fields. I'm running. Guys, I'm doing everything that I can to like try and, you know, do as best as I could to get back. So we get into July, and it's getting closer and closer to return date. And I'm just thinking about everything that I went through at Central Methodist. Like, I'm thinking about how I was constantly asking my coaches, am I doing something wrong? I'm constantly asking my coaches, well, why can't I attend the meetings? I'm constantly asking my coaches, well, am I going to be able to play in a game, or am I going to be able to practice? And like, I was getting no answers. The only thing I was hearing is, oh, this media such and such wants to talk to you, and this media such and such wants to talk to you, and these people want to do it. And I was just so freaking tired of hearing that. What I wanted to hear was that it's time for you to get on the field and produce, or we're going to give you a chance to get out here and see what you can do. It's your turn to try and compete.
And that's the worst part about this whole thing. I said it before earlier in the video. She was a media stunt. Her future was regulated to a media stunt. And she had such a group of yes people around her that she just delusional about that fact. She never got to play. She never got to do anything. And she has the right to be upset about that fact, but I just don't know how she thought that she'd ever be good enough to get on a Division 1 field with Division 1 football players. Come on.
And I just feel like I wasn't given the chance enough to compete. Like, guys, and again, I'm gonna tell you this. This is my personal experience. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not badgering, shaming anybody. I truly love everybody at Central Methodist. I'm just giving y'all my experience. So just listen with your ears, and that's it. As July, like I said, approaches, we're getting closer to return date, and at the end of July, at the end of July, like right before my birthday or after my birthday, I reached out to my head coach, and like at this time, like I was truly, guys, I was truly suffering in silence. Like I just keep thinking about it. Like, I asked my head coach, you know, I had a couple job opportunities, and this, I get emotional about this every time, like, I think about it. I had a couple job opportunities that I could have, you know, in California. I was already acting. I was already like doing stuff that.
So she's using the media attention that she got from this media stunt. She was already acting and doing all these different things, but she's still trying to pursue this football thing and trying to get answers. Yeah, right. Come on.
that I love, but like that's not what truly made me happy, you know? Football is what truly made me happy. And that's what I wanted to do. But as I sat home and I thought about it, I had some freaking choices to make. Like, my depression was starting to truly sink in. So I can't remember if I called or texted him, but I think I called and texted him. I called him first, then I texted him. And I just asked my head coach, you know, we talked for a second, and I asked him, Coach, are you going to allow me to come back and compete? That's all I wanted to know. If his answer would have been yes, we're going to help make sure you come out here and compete, I would have went back. I would have. But his answer was, I don't know.
There you go. Because the head coach realized it's a lose-lose situation. You get her on that field and you're not walking off. One good hit and she's KO'd. And so, in my opinion, he made the right move, and he let her down softly. So, good job, head coach at Central Methodist. Good job.
To me, I don't know was not only a slap in the face, but it was a no. Because if you're telling me that you don't know if you're going to allow me to come back and compete, you've already given me the answer. You've already made up your mind, like, as to what it was going to be with me. So I had to make the decision. I told my coach, like, okay, well, I just won't be out. I'm going to finish online, and I just won't be coming back this semester. I got some job opportunities, and I guess that's just what I have to do. At that moment, I had to give up what I truly loved.
We're gonna stop it right here, guys. Once again, she just wasn't good enough. 5'7", 164 pounds. What did she think was going to happen? We have this whole infrastructure in the United States to support female delusion. This is a high profile case of that. She's able to capitalize on her media opportunities that she gained for being part of this stunt. I'm hoping that she can make that into a career, because it was not fair that she was hired as a media stunt and a diversity hire for a Division I football team. Uh, I do wish her the best. Maybe I'll do a follow up story to see where she's at now, because it is 2023. Make sure to put what you think about this whole situation in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.